Depending on where you are watching from, welcome to the program. Welcome. Welcome to the program. I will come out. Welcome to the program. Wherever you're watching from, if you're joining, welcome to the program. If you are here, kindly share the video. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the program. Okay, I'm going to actually ask YouTube and Facebook to allow me to use this video to actually, entertain friends and followers. Facebook, YouTube allow me to use this video to entertain friends and followers. It is this music I want to play right now. The music I want to play right now, it is a very, very, important message that was sent to the people, that was sent to the people. Those are the type of people, when they actually, make music, those type of music, they will never, be remembered. They will never be remembered because those music are very, very important music that actually tells us, send messages on how we are actually, carrying on with things within or around us. So those type of music, they are very, very important that we continue to remember them. Those music, they are very, very important. We continue to remember them. So wherever you are watching from, kindly share. Share the video wherever you are watching from. Share the video. Click the like button. If you are joining, share the video. Click the like button. I don't know if we have anybody here. So if you are watching on YouTube, do the same. Let's share wherever you are watching from. Let's share. Let's share the video. Welcome. Welcome to the program. Okay, let's begin. Let me start with this music. I want to remind you of something before we proceed because we have a very important topics that we need to discuss, and we are going to actually take it from the information or the news that is coming out of Nigeria. And but let's play this. He said, let them lead them well and shouldn't let this nation to fall inside well. And I believe that the warning that was given to the country by African China, one of the great musicians, one of the greatest musicians that you ever heard from Gato. So I believe that the warning that he gave to the country, they did not heed to the warning, and at the end of the day, it ended up actually, backbiting them, because today when you look at the situation of things in the country, you will definitely agree with me that the warning that he gave to them didn't work. They never heed it. The same thing that Uncle Fela gave to them, they never actually took it seriously. So it is very, very important that we understand the situation of things. We understand the situation of things. Of course, I know you can see my write up our topic right now. You can see it there. And I want you to pay very good attention, very, very good attention while we are doing this. Pay important attention, because you will actually, understand few things. So very, very importantly, the topic says that Ekpa might not be working for Nigeria. Ekpa might not be working for Nigeria. I said I wouldn't talk about him again, but I believe that what I brought to you right now is very, very important. And the reason why I am bringing it is, each and every time you hear, news coming out of Nigeria, each and every time you hear, activities that that is actually done by Ekpa, you will see how you will see the news coming all over the place. So you will see the news all over the place, that the news talking about his deed, and he also come out to tell you that he did it. And so when you start seeing such thing, because he is no longer portraying that he is working for organization, working for Nnamdi Kanu. So when you see the news flying and he is taking charge, he is actually taking responsibilities of anything that transpired in Nigeria. It is actually one of the reason why I tell you that he might not be working for Nigeria, but I'm going to tell you the intricacies. Now, it is very, very important for us to focus, because I'm coming to that. I'm coming to the issue of EPA. I'm coming to that very, very important thing that I'm going to tell you. If you pay very good attention, you will learn something from it. If you do not want, you will actually, get carried away. And when you get carried away, it is actually for you, because we are all in this mess together. But there is important, there is a very, very important, news that I just saw. There is a very, very important news that I just saw. And that news, if it is a news about politicians now from the PDP, talking about if Peter Obi is going to become a PDP candidate in 2027. It's a latest news. And I know Obi is a Labour Party, British Labour Party. Yeah. So I don't know if they are calling him back to PDP, so that at the end of the day, Obi will be their candidate in the PDP. But I think we are going to start from there, because that is exactly the reason why I actually play this music that you heard, a few seconds ago. So it is important for us to know. It is important for us to understand that what is going on in Nigeria is a game, and this game will continue. And it does not matter, as long as these politicians are concerned, there is no way that they are going to, want to lose the game. And immediately when there is a change in the status quo, so but definitely all of them knows that the game might elude them, they will no longer play such game. But as for now, that these people are still in the political space, I believe that the game is still going to work in their favor, and they don't mind. Even those you think that they are enemies, they don't mind collaborating with each other in order to make this game continue. And I should tell you, very importantly, what you do not know about politics. Politics is a game of cabal. Politics is a game of, no permanent friend, no permanent enemy. When you see two politicians, you think they are fighting. When you see two politicians and you believe that these two politicians are fighting, believe you me, you might be believing wrong, or you might think that these politicians, they don't like each other and they can never get along with each other. Believe me, it is important for you to know that it is not the case, because there is no permanent friend in politics and there is no permanent enemy. That's why it is important that for you to follow every move of the politicians whenever they make it. Very, very important. So now, if you want to understand how important it is to make sure that everything that is, whatever that the politicians do, they want to make sure they remain in that position of power. They want to make sure they remain in the position of power. And it doesn't matter whether they go and dine with their enemy, to make sure that that system that gives them power, without the consent of the people, will still remain there. So now I want you to see the stunts they are going to play with you in 2027. Let me show you what they are going to play with you in 2027. Because when Obi actually, lost, what he called his mandate, I told you guys that he will make you wait until 2027 so that he will try to regain his mandate. In 2027, if the sitting, person is still alive, the 2027, the sitting person will still continue. There is nothing, no two ways about it. Then he will give you another 4 years to tell you that he will regain it in, maybe after 2027. It is now 2020, 2030. In 2030 it might become 2031. In 2031, now they will continue to recycle this, this thing they are doing until 2031. Then you will still be believing that things are going to change at some point, but you wouldn't know that nothing is going to change. They don't mind trying all their best, as long as you go out there in the polling unit to make sure that you cast your vote. And it does not matter, those things are not what worries them. What worries them is that ability that they have to make you wait, to convince you that a new person, or like anybody else, will make things work in the Nigeria system. Their ability to be able to create this narrative that it is all about bringing the right person. That is the ability that they have. They confuse and convince you at all time, making you believe that once a right person comes in, they will do better than the others. Then you will all of a sudden start having good road. You will all of a sudden start having electricity. You will all of a sudden start having sewage system. You will all of a sudden start having all this essential amenity. Maybe hospital and justice system will start working. There is no such. 8 years will never give you those things. And whoever that goes in there, they will the highest thing they will tell you to that they are going to do, they will construct, just like the current person that is in the position of power is telling you they are constructing super highway. That is the only thing. Something like that is what there will never be a major problem that they will ever solve. Constructing super highway is what you will see. Now that construction of super highway will take the whole of the first season, first tenure, the whole of first tenure, or they will tell you they have signed to award for the country to get more electric infrastructure to increase the power grid. They will tell you they have awarded the contract, but the contract might be awarded, but there will be no payment made, or it will be passed in the parliament for the contract to be awarded. At the end of the day, you will hear that this bill has been passed, but this bill being passed, the kickoff of this of that contract or the job will never come up. It is the way to fool. It is actually a way that they are using at all time to make sure that you stay blind and you stay convinced that one thing will change Nigeria. But I am here now to tell you that Nigeria will never change because of the things we have seen. 60 years is not 60 days. 60 years is not 60 days, and it's not 6 years. 60 years is not 60 days, guys, and it is not 6 years. Now you will understand that as long as Nigeria is concerned right now, they are trying to bring up another new, plan to convince you that maybe you will say Obi again, because all of you will sing Obi in 2027. You will still sing Obi, and you will sing Obi, and at the end of the day, the same Obi you will sing will take you to another dimension of poverty, just worse than the one you are experiencing right now, because you will be thinking that it is now remaining 3 years. In the next 3 years, we are going back there. The same, anybody you are going to clamor with or run around, we will still allow you to run around them, and they will come back to calm you down at the end of the day, because somebody like the person in the position of power, the only thing that will make them not to be there for 8 years, it's only if they get unalived, or if they get sick and then unalived. So at the end of the day, but the opposition party, because they know that they are not running, they have what they need. If they get sick, they go to the hospital in UK, in France, anywhere in the US, or even in the United Arab Emirates. They go to access the hospitals. They have everything they need. They have private jet. They have money. Nobody is disturbing them. No one does lifestyle audit on them. No one does anything. They are members of the parliament. They get paid. They get paid, like seriously, paid. Now, at the end of the day, do you think that if it takes 10 years for them to get to the position of power, because it is not here to be time? Maybe after the 2031, when Obi tell you it is my turn, maybe you might even try to take him seriously, but now you will not know that it will be now Atiku's turn, because Atiku now, at the end of the day, he's been waiting for his turn diligently, and he is actually waiting for his turn, because his turn is going to come before the turn of Obina. But you people cannot understand this. Now listen to it. Listen to the news that I have here. Listen to it. Former Sokoto State Governor Atahiru Bafarawa shares this thought with Chukwudi Akasike on the nation's democracy and economic situation, among other issues. What did he say? Former Sokoto Governor Akasike, the democratic the nation's democratic and economic situation, among others. Okay, let me see which party, because Okay, I didn't start from the headings. Let me give you the headings. Nigeria will decide if Atiku or Obi will be PDP's candidate in 2027. That is the the headlines that we are actually focusing on. The Nigeria will decide if Atiku or Obi will be the PDP's candidate in 2027. But Obi is a member of a Labour Party. Now they are suggesting that they will decide, that you will decide whether it is Obi or Atiku that will be there in 2027. These are the things that they will always use in order to make sure that they actually make you to wait. They give you that patience. They create that thing that, after 7 years, it's just going to take these 8 years. Then, it is Obi, because Obi is the one who need to convince people that it is important to go through another process of election so that he will lose again, or it doesn't matter whether he lose or whether he gains, whether he wins. At the end of the day, these people will always have what they need. They can never lack anything. So even if they lose that mandate, it doesn't matter. Even if they are giving it, and even if it takes another 5 years for them to get to try again, it does not matter, because everything they are looking for, it is about power and money. It is about power and money. That's what they are looking for. So if they have to make you this, actually, the way you are complaining, the way you are so tired of this, activities that is going on, the way you are actually, very, very sensitive right now, that you could actually say no more, we don't want this anymore at any time. They will use this to trap you. They are going to use it to trap you. But many of you will not understand it, because it is not, you are not following the politics, you are following the promises. That's exactly what you are doing. And as long as you continue to do so, you will never get yourself free. You will never get, the free lunch that a nation gives to his people. Now, let's continue to read. Let's continue to read. Pay very good attention. Former Sokoto State Governor Atahiru Bafarawa shares his thoughts with Chukwudi Akasieike on the nation's democratic and economic situation, among other issues. Things appear to be tough in the country, and most people can hardly feed well again. Why is it so? As if they care. When there is no commitment from the leaders to care for the followers, things are expected to be difficult. Nowadays, leaders are here for the sake of themselves. He is a former governor, is talking about it. And they don't even think of anybody. The only time they think about anybody is the time of an election. So when there is no justice, there is no peace. And when there is no peace, there is a problem. The leaders of today are always thinking of themselves. There's no commitment to their country's development or anybody else. This is why things are difficult. Some people may say you are saying so because the political party in power isn't the political party you belong to. How will you react to this? Now, let's see. I'm Nigerian, and I can be in any political party where I think things will be better. So it's not a question of being in the opposition. However, if there is no opposition, there's no democracy. That's why Nigeria democracy is dying, because there is no strong opposition as the political parties, ruling parties. And opposition parties are all for the same father and mother. Did you hear that? They are all for the same father and mother. Did you hear what I always tell you about the situation of godfatherism? the situation of godfatherism in Nigeria that will never allow you to vote or give you the right to vote and the right to be voted for. Godfatherism. That's why he said that, and that parties ruling parties and opposition parties are all from the same father and the same mother. They are all from the same father and the same mother. Are you listening to it? So this opposition and the ruling parties are not doing what they are supposed to do. It's for the opposition parties to check the excesses of the ruling party. How will they do it? Most opposition parties that the ruling party will actually, sort them out to keep quiet. How many times have you, if you go to every part of the world in their parliament, opposition party will always, tackle the, ruling party. They will always tackle the ruling party, not the one they will be saying or writing on Twitter. It's not about writing it on Twitter. It's not about writing it on Twitter. The opposition party will always challenge the ruling party wherever the ruling party is not doing it good. But I believe in the country, whenever the ruling party win, the opposition goes inside. So don't you think there is a settlement that it makes oppositions to go inside and keep quiet? They are not talking. But at least this one talking was a former governor, but he is a PDP member who actually think that the Nigeria, godfatherism will never allow opposition. They say that these politicians, the opposition or the ruling party, they have the same father, the same mother. So it is only one man and it is only one parent that controls the, whether you are APC, whether you are PDP, whether you are Labour Party, whether you are APPC, whatever you are, one mother, one father. Meaning that the meaning of that, what that guy said here, because it's a message to show you that it does not matter who is in charge. It does not matter who is in charge. All you are going to see, it is the same thing, because there is a peripheral issue, which is it can only be Britain. The only problem that you will see, the only people you will see on the side that is actually that will do everything that to make sure that the country never works. Because when the country is not working, your leaders will be looking for money. Your leaders will be looking for loan. When the country is not working, your leaders will be actually, trying to, embezzle for themselves. Because if they will, at the end of the day, they will say to themselves, if you can't beat them, you join them. I'm not the first person in this position. I am not going to be the last person in this position. Let me, do what I can for me and my family. That is exactly what the system will only allow the leaders to do. But the system will never, ever allow the leaders to, run the country and they give you, benefit. The reason why it is so, because if they run the country and give you benefit, that means you are going to, have employment. You will not have poor people. You will never have people that are actually in this institution called poverty, where anytime they want to, where anytime they feel like there is a movement going on, that if they find a way to bring money into that movement, people will lose themselves. People will now, start chasing after that money without realizing that there is a goal that is in front of them that they need to achieve. It is very, very important for you to understand the game that is being played in the country. The ruling party, the opposition party, all of them are from the same source. It is only one people that are interested in any, they can choose from anywhere they want to choose, because they all have the same father, the same mother. And I keep telling you that you cannot, as an ordinary person in Nigeria, and wake up to say that I am going to, to be voted for, because you don't have right to vote. You don't have right to be voted for, because there is already people who make that, right, make it a privilege. Already people who make it a privilege, even if they want to allow you, just like they allowed Showore, in the last election, just like they allowed him. Even if they want to allow you as a maybe independent candidate or whatever, even if they want to allow you, remember that if they allow you, you don't have the power to actually do what they do to be in power. You don't have the power to count the vote. You don't have the power to count the vote. And you don't have the power to be the judge in the electoral court. That's why immediately when there is no justice system, everything in that country is upside down. They are in a state of limbo, and you will never do anything to thrive in that situation, because justice system protects the law. Justice system actually mitigate corruption. If justice system is working, they mitigate corruption, and it is very, very effective. It is very effective when justice system or judiciary is working. It's very effective to actually combat crime and corruption. Now let me continue to read. At the end of the day, most politicians are businessmen. Most politicians are businessmen. This is a politician, former governor, is talking. So they join politics for the sake of business. It's just a rotational thing. If you look at the All Progressive Congress, 80% of its members are from the People Democratic Party. So what's different? What's different? Different is just so what? Okay. So what's different? So what's different is just the name. Whoever journalist that wrote this should actually, write the word fully. Don't write the way the man was talking. You know, they were writing the same way the man was actually talking by cutting, the words short. So what's different is just the name, but they are the same people with the same beliefs. It is not a question of party now. It's a question of the country. Did you hear that? The people are suffering because there's no umpire in the game. There is no umpire in the game. That's why the people are suffering. The political parties are the umpires for running democracy. For running democracy, the political parties in the opposition must ensure the ruling party sits up and does the right thing for the people today. If you are the president, you will become the national chairman of the party, and the governor will be the chairman of his party. And at the at the state level, that's not the way things should be, because whoever joins a political party is an agent of the party. Mhm. Did you see that? They need an umpire because opposition party is supposed to be the umpire. They're supposed to be the one that will call president out. They're supposed to be the one that will take president to court. They're supposed to be the one that will do, that will stand up to say, no, he's not doing it well. But they will not, because they know even if they go in there, they will not do it well. They know the system, they understand the system, so they are waiting for their turn diligently, because in the immediately when the system selects them, their problem and the family problem, their generation is already sorted out. So that's why they cannot fight the system tooth and nail. Now let me continue to read. This is because each political party has its manifesto. There is nothing new, and the essence is that when they see that the president, who is seen as the leader of the party, isn't doing well, they go back to their manifesto and remind him that he should not forget the content of the party's manifesto. Did you see them doing that? The answer is no. Now, you see when illiteracy comes in. When I tell you that everyone in your political space are illiterate. You see where illiteracy come in. And of course, there is a saying that if you put something in the book, a black man will never read it. Now you will see, because of all these opposition parties, they don't have time to read. Maybe the only time they will know what is written in the manifesto of the opposition or ruling party is only when these manifestos are being read on the news, or when people are actually explaining or analyzing the details of their manifesto. That is the only time you will see them, knowing exactly what is in that manifesto. They don't read. Then at the end of the day, you expect them to use the content of the manifesto to hold each other to account. They don't read. Because for you to be educated, you need to read. You need to read. You don't need to rely on what you acquired from your curriculum in school. You must read more. You must read more so that you will understand what you are getting yourself into. Now, let's see. I say this because manifesto is the guide for the ruling party to achieve its aim for the people. The Independent National Electoral Commission is not looking at all this. If what INEC is doing is election, then the election is election. No, if INEC, this is very important, that's why I'm going to read it. The Independent Electoral Commission is not looking at all this. If what INEC is doing is election, is selection, S by selection with S, then the election is selection. Did you hear that? The election is selection. Why did you say the election is selection? If the leadership of INEC says this, if you say this is what we are doing today and there is no going back, then tomorrow the same thing it said will be done, will be done, was not being done. Oh, I don't understand is it Punch newspaper that is writing this way? No. Let me read again. If the leadership of INEC says this is what we are doing today, and there is no going back, then tomorrow the same thing it said will be done was not being done. Isn't that going away from the promise made? When that is the case, everything will become a total mess. INEC must supervise political parties, most especially the ruling party, because they have submitted their constitution and manifesto, which is what they are going to do for the people. So INEC must supervise the activities of the political parties, and the political parties must supervise their electoral officers. You once said that President Bola Tinubu should probe former President Muhammad Buhari if he wanted to succeed. Do you still stand by this statement? Let's hear. I still want the Buhari administration to be probed, because the mess we are in is caused by Buhari. The probe of the immediate past administration is long overdue, and I think President Tinubu should begin to think along that line. Otherwise, if he fails to do so, God will hold him responsible for not doing his job. Wow. Why do you think that the current president will never probe the former president? Why do you think the current president will never, probe the previous administration? Because they are actually from the same party, and it is about partisan. Partisan is partisan. You can't do anything about it. Who is, look at Malami, Attorney General, Attorney General. Look at him. All the allegations made against him. How did we see it? We don't hear about them anymore. The allegations made against him for selling of petrol and taking the money and knowing about the deal of sale of petrol or being an accomplice to corruption, they are not actually on the dock, but people are talking about going to probe the president himself. But the attorney general, they didn't start with him. They didn't, because he is Fulani and the president Fulani. When we talk about all these things, Fulani will think we have hate for them. We do not have hate for you. We don't have any there is no permanent friend, no permanent enemy. We do not have hate for any ethnic group in Nigeria. What we have hate for, again, what we are actually against is the lies that people tell just to defend a lie. Now you will see Buhari Fulani, Attorney General Fulani, and at the end of the day, the man in Aso Rock today is Tinubu Yoruba, because all of them are in the APC. They can never be probed. Now listen to it. You will find people like people Fulanis who have access to social media. They will come and be saying that we hate them, we do this, we do that. We don't hate you. The reason why you see it as a hate is that some people, when they speak about these atrocities coming out of the country, we consider that you people have been in power more than every other person in Nigeria, and Igbo man has never been in power. Igbo man has never been in power. Other than being in power for 2 years or 3 years, then or even is it up to 2 years, then before the war broke out. After the war, Igbo man has never, taken that position. And since Igbo man has never taken that position, Fulanis has been the ones in the position more than any other ethnic group in Nigeria. So when we begin to complain and say, and to say that Fulanis, they are doing this, they are doing that, it is because we are referring to those Fulanis that is in political space. Because if Fulanis that are in political space, they are the ones who send those ones that are carrying their nama and their cattle, going into people's farm and eating it up, and even unaliving people in their community, emasculating people in their community, just because they want to take over the community. So in this regard, when we talk about them, when we call Fulani, we are referring to these people. We are referring to these people, and you, as a Fulani person who allow yourself to be used like a nama, like a cow, you go into people's community and you unalive them because you want to take over. They are the people we are talking about. We know there are people who are reasonable Fulanis. They are not into politics. They speak their truth the way it is. But those ones who are affiliated to one political party to another, you will find these ones, they will be the one, they will never ever accept that there is something wrong in Nigeria, because they know that they created all the mess. Because if they ever agree with you that the country is not good, you know what it will resolve to? It is either that they say the country is not good because they are not the one in power. They will never tell you the country is not good because it is not good. They say it because they are not the one in power. If they are the ones in power, you will not hear them talk. But there are good Fulanis who will still talk. But the ones in political space will never ever tell you. Just like you hear what this person is saying, because they are not the ones in power. Fulanis are not the ones in power. It's not about political party. It is about which tribe are in power. Buhari did everything Buhari did. Buhari did everything they did. Look at where they are. Look at. Nobody held it, nobody called him to account. Buhari just disappeared. We just see his picture, from here to there. That is the only thing we see. He disappeared. No one is asking all this corruption, all this loan, all these things. Can you give account of what you have actually borrowed, for Nigeria and what you did with it? That is the job of a sitting president. But the one you have there is an accomplice to the crime. That's why he cannot probe those people. Now, let us actually, think about what we are seeing now. It's only 3 years left. 3 years. So that you will go into, because your sitting president is 1 year in the office. 3 years more, you go into another election. So they are preparing you. They are acting as if they are not being, political. But if you are so unwise, that's when you will say, no, these people are not really being political. He mean the business. These are the type of people you want them to be in the position of leadership. They speak the truth. No, don't take anything from any politician. They don't speak the truth. Whether you like it or not, politicians does not speak the truth. If you want to believe it, you believe it. If you don't want to believe it, leave it there. But they do not speak to the truth, because the truth implicates them. They speak politics. They don't speak the truth. Now, that is exactly what you see. And what you see is exactly what you will get. Now, let's see what he complained more, which is very interesting. How can probing the Buhari's administration change the economy and the current situation for Nigeria, who are facing tough times? At least we heard that Buhari borrowed billions and trillions of naira. So the current administration must find out what these funds were used for. Have they used it for the right things or not? These are the things the current administration should find out. Nigeria need to know all this. Now, the current administration, it might not be in their best interest to try to do so, because they are already borrowing their own. They are already borrowing their own, and the borrowing is not to serve you as a country. The borrowing is to serve them and their people in the cabal position. That is what the borrowing is all about. Whether you like it or not, that is exactly what the borrowing is all about. Look at what is going on. Military was unalived somewhere in Aba, right? Military was unalived by, people who don't, who are actually, criminals. Military was unalived by criminals. Now the military people decided to, bring war to the people in that area. Militaries are being unalived in a daily basis in the north. They don't take that war to the Boko Haram. They don't take that war to the Fulani headsmen. They only take this war to the eastern region, where you see, just because military is unalived. One man might be unalive, but military will unalive innocent people, maybe in their hundreds. One. People will be picking up carcass all over the place, because military is coming for revenge. Because their slogan in Nigeria, you cannot kill a military, you cannot unalive a military in the country. Otherwise, they will unalive the whole community. Once one military is attacked, the whole community will pay for it. But these militaries, what they are doing in those areas, it is something that is uncalled for. They will go into area, they will intimidate people, slap people, beat them up. Then at the end of the day, when these disgruntled people decide to retaliate, They will now say that people are actually breaking the law. They are attacking military. Listen to it. One military was killed, was unalive by a criminal. The whole military is now coming out to come and wage war against the innocent people who does not know what is going on. Who does that? Innocent people who does not know what is going on. That is when what this military will unleash their mayhem on burning community houses. Innocent people shooting sporadically in a place where there are women and children, where there are innocent people, without actually investigating to find out who attacked them. Because it is a lawless country. If it is not a lawless country, they will never have right to go into that community and do such. You cannot be a military just because you one of your members were attacked, or two of your members were attacked by common criminals, and you will come and say, no, it is the whole community that you want to teach the community lesson. So that means nobody has right. Nobody have right in that country. Law enforcement does what they want. Leaders do what they want. Governors do what they want. Chairmans, all of them, judges, they do what they want. No one is calling anybody to account. Do you know why? Because you have given these people a sense of ownership of you. You have given them that, that sense that they own you. They treat you the way they want. It is about slaves and the master. It is about oppressor and oppressed. That is exactly the game that is being played in the country. Oppressor and oppressed. And oppressed must never stand up to challenge the oppressor. And if the oppressed will never stand up to challenge the oppressed will be oppressed all their lives. But when you stand up to challenge that oppressor, believe you me, then when that is the only time the oppressor will start giving you your respect. Because they cannot give you your respect, you always answer to them whenever they say hello, you say hi. And that is the reason why they will never give you the respect that you deserve as a human being. Imagine a place. The reason why it is happening in Aba is because Alex Oti, they believe that once it happened like that, Alex Oti, the man that is actually, loved by the people, the man that is loved by the people, they want to actually convince him to start like Hope Uzodimma. They want to convince him to start like, Devil Omahi. They want to convince him to start what Peter Mbai is doing. Those are the things that they want to do. Look at it. That is the reason why you find these things happening in Aba. That is the reason why you find these things happening in Aba. But that is actually, by the way, you should continue to follow up. That you see this Alex Yoti that people are praising. Very soon, they are going to make him. So, they want to now make him, one of their demons. Because don't forget, army take orders from the top. Army take orders from the top. Then if what they are doing now is now, if what, like they take orders from the top, they come to a community, they do what they want. Now, when the community begin to rebel against them, or when the community decided, no, that we have to protect ourselves, the same army will now start acting, or they will present to the governor, this is the way it is happening in this community. At the end of the day, now the governor joins force with they will join force. They will join force with the army. Of course, they need them. Order from above. That is how you will start seeing governors becoming demons. But I hope he does not actually, he doesn't change him. I hope he doesn't change him. Let him be that first governor that actually cater for his own people. Let him be so. Now, coming back to what we are talking about, the politics that you need to know about. We keep on talking about you know activities of Ekpa. We keep on talking about activities of Ekpa. I want you people to know. I want you people to know that the activities of Ekpa you see today, and you believe that it is all about Nigeria government. You believe that Ekpa and Nigeria government are pulling these things off. But I want to actually make you to rethink. I want to get you to rethink. Let me be honest with you. If those things Ekpa is claiming responsibility that he is doing, if Ekpa is the one doing those things, believe me, Ekpa has a plan that many people does not understand. He has a plan that many people does not understand. And such plan comes with a dire consequences. Because I don't want to be, emotional about it. And I don't want to be sentimental about it. I want you to understand politics that is being played there. What you see now that is behind Ekpa is not Nigeria government. It is not Nigeria government. What is behind Ekpa is external force that has, interest. It is external force that has interest. And if you understand, you will know that Nigeria government undermine people. Nigeria government undermine people, and in fact, Nigerians undermine people, including Biafrans. They undermine people. And now let me tell you the reason why I am telling you that you undermine, that guy in Finland. Number one, I know what I am saying. Many of you will be emotional. Many of you will think that George Money is now advocating for the man in Finland. But if you think like that, so be it. You see, the force that is, that might be behind that guy in Finland, it might not be coming from Nigeria. It might not be coming from Nigeria, but it has a dire consequences. Whatever you see there has a dire consequences. And the consequences of what you are seeing right now, it is bigger than what you might be expecting. Because let me tell you, when Ojukwu was fighting, when Ojukwu was actually, leading the struggle, do you know who was, like I said to you, who became ally to the Biafrans? It was France. It was the French. They became allied to Biafrans to an extent that French language was adopted in Biafra land, even after the war. I want you to pay attention, very, very good attention to what I'm telling you, because we use history to judge future. French was adopted. Now imagine if you had Biafra at that time, and French is the one going to be your colony or colonizer. Sorry, you become your colonizer. Remember, French, they don't finish their colonization. Imagine if French was the ones who helped Ojukwu to, win the war. Imagine what will be the situation of our lives today. Think about it. Now you come to the, present. You come to the present. And I want you to think and try to think the reason why Nnamdi Kanu, it was difficult for him to create allies. I'm not saying he does not have allies, but it was difficult for him to create allies because those allies, their demand will always, or what, they always think about their interest first. It is all about interest. The reason why it is all about interest, because when you go to places like Israel, you want them to help you achieve Biafra. What will be their interest? Their interest is how they are going to, make sure that they get Biafra, but they will be in charge. They help you get Biafra, they will be in charge. This is running from frying pan to fire. That is the way it is. Then you go to France or you go to France, they will make you get Biafra. They might help you get Biafra, but they will be the ones in charge. I don't know if you're getting the point. If you are actually, sentimental, you will not get the point. If you are sentimental, you will not get the point. It is all about interest. It is not about humanity. So I want you to understand what the guy in Finland might be putting you into. The risk of those who are actually following him or who are supporting him, his activities, and you might be believing that his activities ends with the Nigeria government without you knowing that his activities might be beyond Nigeria government. But because you undermine people, you on Nigeria government as well, they are ignorantly, they undermine people without knowing, what exactly is going on until that, dog turns to be a lion. When Iginla was telling them about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu being a puppy and later become lion, they don't understand it. It was not a prophecy, but it is actually a wise, it is logical. It is a logical, future that he told. He logically, foresaw the future and he told the future. It was not prophecy. But I want you to know, because they undermine people. Like many of you undermine people. Because you see people in the camera, you might not know what these people might be able to get themselves into or might be able to do. So you undermine Ekpa, thinking that this Ekpa is working only with Nigeria government, or maybe thinking that it is Nigeria government that is pulling everything is doing off. I want you to rethink, because before you rethink, it is already too late. Before you are going to get yourself thinking, it is already too late. If you want to help yourself as a Biafran, I am not saying those who are following Ekpa to repent, because I don't expect you to repent. I am telling you to start thinking. That's exactly what I am saying. I'm not telling you to change, because you cannot change. I just want you to start thinking. Because if what he is doing ends with the Nigeria government, believe me, there is supposed to be a die down. Because if you even check the followings, it's no longer there. It's no longer there like that. And if you check Nigeria government, if you check what they can do, they don't keep up to things. Now, they only keep up to things, in a way that it will, favor them physically. Let me tell you one thing. The only person Nigeria government feared was Nnamdi Kanu. The only person Nigeria feared was Nnamdi Kanu, but they never took him seriously when he was beginning. They undermined him. When he gave his request that let's govern well, let's lead well, let's do the policies that help ordinary people on the ground to thrive, they never took him seriously until he started agitating. By the time they knew that this man is serious, is when he created Eastern Security Network to protect Biafra land. And they saw how effective Eastern Security Network was protecting Biafra land from all the atrocities that was being done. That's when they knew, or they began to pay attention to say, this guy, we need to do something. This guy is quite serious. That's the only time they took him serious. And that is the only time they now need to do everything that they have to do to get him out, including working with Britain, Kenya. They started, working with international, other countries to push him, to give his information, to now get him at all cost. Think about it. Now, the Ekperima, you believe that he's working with Nigeria government only. He is working with some politicians, you can understand that. He's working with politicians. He might be working with politicians who have maybe connections outside, around Europe, politics outside Europe, and outside Nigeria, within the European, space. They might, he might be working with those politicians, but the truth of the matter is, if you do not start now to change your topic or to change how you follow the issue of Ekperima in Finland, believe you me, you will be here calling him a criminal, calling him a thief, calling him a rogue, complaining about that he is unaliving Nigeria army. You will be here complaining about it without you knowing the bigger plan that is coming for you as an individual who call yourself that you want Biafra. If you don't understand what it takes for other nations to have interest in what you are doing, for any other nation to have interest in what you are doing, the only thing they will make you do is to start armed struggle. To start armed struggle. Armed struggle. Then it brings the attention of everybody together. Then deliberation will start. This country will be protecting your interests. They will be, even if they go to the National Assembly, they know their inner caucus. They will be saying, no, leave them, leave that one is my boy. And that one is my own. I am handling this issue. Please, let's not talk about this issue. I'm handling it. Maybe you don't know who is handling the issue. Now, they might not come to him straight. There might be organization they will be using. Even him himself, he knows what he is pulling off. But because maybe he knows, maybe he does not know what he's pulling off right now. Because you might think he is pulling it off and he knows who is backing him up, that he does not have issues. He might not know, he might know. Maybe the politicians that are within the space of Europe and America might know. But like I always say, he might not know, he might know. But believe it or not, if the way the guy is going about these things in Biafra land, and that is the reason why he is taking responsibilities of these things. The reason why he is taking responsibilities of these things is because when this crisis reach at its peak, the international organization will start now to peep what is going on within this vicinity, and this guy is the only one who is taking responsibility. They will call him to ask him what exactly is going on here. Then his backup, maybe it could be Finland as a nation. It could be Finland as a nation. Maybe he goes to one or two politicians in Finland and they tell them, no, these people, they are stupid. All we need is Biafra. They don't even know politics. They don't even know what is going on. Just back me up. We will give you in charge of our oil, or we will give you in charge of our land. You will, we will, something like that. It is all about interest. But with him, all he is after is not about decolonizing your mind before. All he is after is not about making you understand the reason why Nigeria is not working. All he's after is to be the one that people will say, no, he is doing something, he's giving you Biafra. And that is the reason why I feel maybe he might not even want to think about the consequences in what he is doing. Now, if there is any European country that is behind this guy, believe me, it is about interest. If he gets you talking by the international community, you know what he's doing now? If you understand what is a move of revolutionary, army, if he is the one pulling all these things that he is taking responsibility for, that is the move for revolutionary army. Think about Hamas. Do you think Hamas just woke up and went and bombed Israel? No, they did not just wake up to go and unalive people in Israel. There is something behind them. They told them now it is time. Target them. Get the world talking. Get the world talking about it. We are going to sit here. We are going to make sure that we protect your interest. And they already know that the young man, the young man is all about the name that he wants to make. They already know that the young man is not there for his people. They already knew that the young man, it is not about his people. It is about the name that he want to make at all cost. So they will be using him. They will be using him immediately when you start making headlines in international media, because a revolution move is what he is doing. If Nigeria government is the one sponsoring him, they will not create this revolution. They will not go through this process. They will not go through this process to the extent of him accepting his crime. Him accepting his crime. They will not go through that process. They will not. There is some big world that has interest in what is going on. And the Biafra that you are going to, you will get people talking about is Biafra that will be colonized before it is even arrived. Before it will even arrive. It is a colonized Biafra before it can arrive. But those of you who does not have sense, because a lot of you does not have sense, not all of you, there is a lot of wise people, but there are few. Those of you who does not have sense, when I tell you this, you might think, you see this guy, I don't care. I don't give a hoot about what you think. But what I'm telling you, mark my words and follow what is going on. Maybe by the time you arrive there, you will be surprised. It's not about judgment, it's not about you. It is about the disaster that is going to befall you. Then by the time you will correct that mistake, because nobody is now speaking the real language that is supposed to be spoken, telling people that we do not want Biafra that is going to be colonized before it arrives. If you continue to call him criminal, this and that, that is just, criticism. You know what it is called in law? Criticism. Ordinary criticism. It is not, criticism that will actually make any move. It is about those who follow him to get sense. Because he wants to make a name for himself. He wants to make a name for himself. And what, is going to be the interest of those who back him up including that Finland as a nation. Ask yourself, what will be their interest? What is the interest of those who backs him up, including Finland themselves? Because if you understand the people that he's affiliated to, they are all oppressors. If you understand the people he's affiliated with, they are all oppressors. Think about it. And they are connected to the problem you are trying to run away from. Now, Britain is the, what you are trying to run away from. British structure. You are trying to run away from it. Now, Finland is with Britain, a multilateral relationship. Now, Israel is with Britain. Israel is with the US and Britain. They are with US and Britain. So if they are with US and they are with the Britain, what do you think if there is any of these nations that, one moment, if there is any of these nations that is actually on the sideline pushing the agenda, let's use this boy. He will want to make name for himself. We're going to use him. We can even bring him to the headline. We will bring him to the to the realm line. We will bring him. That's only what he's looking for. He might not understand the negotiation or the politics or the interest that will be done. You will be there. Somebody will be selling your your vote, or somebody will be representing you at their own interest, and you will not be far from creating the type of Biafra that is worse than Nigeria. That is the reason why when I see this guy from the beginning, I know he could land himself into that position. And that is the reason why I started actually, criticizing him. So let's see if I hope we're still coming out clear there. I don't know if we're coming out. Now, I don't know if our voice is coming out clear. It's still coming out clear. I see people say I am not making sense today. I don't expect to make sense because you don't have sense. I don't expect to make sense to you because you don't have sense and you lack information. You know, you lack information. So that's why you will not actually get what I'm saying making sense to you. You lack information and you don't know politics. And that's why I will not make sense to you. You should go and relax. Whenever you think that I'm speaking things that is on your level, then you can come and join the game. We will actually continue where we've stopped. But I am telling you that, what got Hamas today being, being supported by every other country, regardless of how many, 1,300 Israelis that, fell because of their action. They are being supported by almost every country. The ones who are not supporting them are the ones who are scared that if they might support these people and they actually eventually regain their own land, it might occur that maybe one day people of native will start fighting us. Now we must leave because most of the lands occupied doesn't belong to the people who are occupants of it. So you should understand that it is about interest. It is about interest. So when you see there is somebody behind them that told them, go to this extent, go to this extent. If you go to this extent, there is a way we will back you up. Those people might control the media, because it's all about somebody who controls the media, and they will back you up. What about it? Interest. Interest. People does not know it is not about who is going to, to go and out there. You do not know that when you start making a move, there is already people who are following your move. It is not about who the guy is. It is not because he has influence. It is not because he know anybody, but it is because of the news that is being given about him. It is because of people that talks about him. It is because of the headline that this person is actually making himself to occupy. To extent sometimes he claim, responsibility of some of the things that he might not even know about. But because he claim responsibility, so that that influence, that limelight will continue to come to him. Now they will be saying, they will be pushing him, go, you are protected. At the end of the day, they will, if eventually these people come up, they will start discussing, no, this has started since 1967. I think it is time we start talking about this issue. You will think that these people are talking on your behalf. You wouldn't know that these people are talking for their interest. And the young man will be feeling himself. The young man will be, you know how people, when you feel yourself, he will be feeling himself. You will not know that he is selling you. He is selling you, be it selling you to Israel. It does not matter, because he does not understand even international politics. He is there. He is citizen in Europe, so he can never, it will be difficult for him to understand what's going on. He never lived in Nigeria for a very long time. You should know that. He never lived in Nigeria for a very long time. So he will not even understand the struggle, the politics, and who is causing it. The fact that he heard that it was Britain, he followed the slogan. He followed the slogan, and he believed that every other European country, anybody will just wake up and help you without interest. Or you believe that because he says Britain, Britain, you see, they have influence within everywhere. Even in the UN National Assembly, they have influence. Britain have influence with Israel. Britain have influence with Finland. They are all, they are all in it together. Britain is a member of NATO, right? Britain is a member of NATO. Finland is now a member of NATO. They are into alliances through multinationalism and all that. Now, the state of Israel was created by Britain and USA. In case those who will say we want to be, we are fighting, who are carrying Israelite flag, thinking they will give them Biafra. The state of Israel was created in 1948 by US and Britain. So you should understand this. They created them for their own, reason, for their own purpose in the Middle East, because there is a lot of mystery in the Middle East. So there must be somebody that will be close to this mystery and be protecting the interest towards those mystery in the Middle East. So that's why they were able to create the state of Israel. Even some of you will take this, will take this one as also, it doesn't make sense. It will not make sense to you because it's bigger than you. So in doing that, anybody who will tell you we're going to get Biafra and Israel is going to help us to get Biafra, tell that person that he is actually, daydreaming. They are daydreaming, believe me. Anybody who will wake up to tell you we're going to get Biafra, Finland supported us that time when there was Biafra, war. Finland is going to support us today. They are daydreaming. Anybody who is going to tell you now that any nation within this European Union are going to support you without, supporting you with their interest. Because if they lose Nigeria, they will not want to lose. If you once you break away with from Nigeria, everybody's interest will be the day you are talking about getting freedom from Nigeria, the day everybody's interest is looking for who is the winning party, who will be the winning party, and who are we going to side with. That is all about what it is. Who are we going to side with? Because now the interest of people who are selling, exploring oil in Niger Delta and oil in Biafra land, you in every part of Biafra land, their interest is not to lose that, that benefit they are getting. So it doesn't matter if you switch like this. It doesn't matter whether you are under Nigeria or you're under Biafra. It doesn't matter. If you have to be colonized, you will be colonized. So that is the thing that people need to understand. We are not up for to get a Biafra that we are going to be colonized before that is already people in the queue to colonize us before the Biafra begins. Those are the things wise people should be actually talking about right now. It is the only thing we should be talking about, not talking about Simon and the what is going on between him and the military that he is setting up to take out communities and unalive innocent people by taking responsibility. By taking responsibility. So you might be thinking that this is the game. This is not the game. All this responsibility is to create awareness that there is a revolutionary movement going on, or there is a secession that is going on. There is an armed struggle that is going on. So who is up for the interest grabbing? Now let me show you something again. Ohaneze, Ohaneze, Government should go after Ekpa for masterminding tension in the southeast. Ohaneze spokesman. The National Publicity Secretary of Ohaneze Ndigbo, Dr. Alex Obinia, shares this thought with Ayola Olasupo on the killing of military personnel in Abia State, among other issues. Now they are seeing the killing of military personnel, but they are not seeing the killing of ordinary citizens who does not know about the killing of military personnel. Think about it. They are talking about the military personnel, not personnels. Military personnel being unalived by criminals. Military return and be ransacking the community. They are talking about the military personnel, but they are not talking about the people whom these military personnel are coming and destroying their homes. Let's see. The Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress recently embarked upon nationwide strike, which was suspended. This is a result of ongoing controversy over minimum wage for workers. What is your advice to the federal government on the situation? In the first place, it looks like that was just an headline. Or am I still reading the same? Looks like that was just an headline. It was just an headline. Let's see if they continue the news. Okay, the issue of factionalization has become a basis of confusion for the public in the recent times. How does Ohaneze Ndigbo intend to handle Okechukwu Uguzoro? Okay, this is their own problem they are tabling. So that is actually okay. They are discussing their problem. I don't have time to read their discussion of their problem. So about their factionalism, their own faction issue. So the government should go after Ekpa for masterminding tension in Southeast. and they talk about the unaliving the military personnel. So if you unalive the military personnel come back at the community and start randomly unaliving people. Now, what do you talk about it? They don't talk about, they don't mention that, because it's supposed to be the topic, the military carnage within the axis where criminals attack the military. Now, you see the way it is. Each and every time the government should go after Ekpa. The government should go after Ekpa. The government should go after Ekpa for taking responsibility. Of course, you know these people don't know law. There is no law in their society. So they don't understand how law is working. So they believe that every country, once you see things in the media, people will just bring it out and give to that country, and the country will start doing, doing. Because of course they don't know law, so they don't know how to follow law. They don't know. They are coming to say government should, government should. Their own story is actually, it doesn't add up. It doesn't, just these things are just, where children are actually playing, where kids are playing, because some of them are enjoying what is going on in Biafra land. It puts food on their table. That's when it comes to working with some of the politicians on the ground with the activities of this guy in Finland. There are some of them who actually knows his intention and his activities on the ground, because you can only use the ground force. The grounders are the ones who will be giving you, ideas and what is going on. It is about the interest of these individuals that are perpetrating these things. It is not about the interest of what they say they are fighting for. Because if you understand what's going on, it is not about that interest. It is about the interest of their name that they are going for. We do not want Biafra that will be worse than Nigeria. We do not want Biafra that other people will be controlling our economy and controlling who is going to be in the position of leadership. That's not the type of Biafra we want. But many people will not understand it because you undermine people. Continue to undermine people. Continue to undermine. Myself, I don't undermine anybody, because I know what I can do if I determine to do it, and you will undermine me when you see it coming. But most of the time, don't undermine people. Don't undermine people. The world is about, interest. The world is about interest. Okay? Somebody who is not free in their mind, they cannot fight to give people freedom. Somebody who don't understand the politics that keeps them, in captivity, cannot understand how to get, their freedom. But what you are seeing in the guy in Finland, it is about his interest in his name. My name, I want to be popular. That is what you are seeing. He is not actually trying to know what exactly how this people that he of course, if you see the people, the countries that he's affiliated with, like Israel, you will know that what I am saying to you is actually, the truth. Nnamdi Kanu was only talking about Israel because Israel gave him, I think, asylum. They gave him asylum, or they welcomed him when he was running for his life from Nigeria army. But isn't it the same Israel who actually, terminated the Radio Biafra? Was there no Radio Biafra that had issues with in Israel? So for you to know that there is the reason why people, there is a Berlin conference, the Berlin conference in 1875, right? There was a reason. There was some secret that you cannot define. The reason why these, big countries are fighting among each other is about the secret they actually make. They kept for themselves to control this third world country. Those secrets have been unveiled. People are actually breaking into archives, bringing out secrets. But the people that are watching this secret, they are not understanding the gravity of this thing they read. They don't understand it, or gravity of exposition you see. Just like understanding that there are stargates in this world. Stargates. One is in Iraq. Like if you the last time we talked about this stargate, one is in Iraq. It is called the Gate of Unuki. That is the how what the ancient Sumerian tablet called it. In Iraq, it is a gate. All these things they are, you find out that interior of pyramid of Giza is owned and controlled by NASA. They have the right of that interior of the pyramid in Egypt. They own it, the interior. So there are some secrets that people control, that they are controlling, that is actually fighting all they could to control. But the thing there is that they swore with their lives to protect this secret, and that secret is how to rule Africa, to make Africa to continue to be the consumers, not the producers. That secret is what they are fighting to keep. So whatever politics they are going to play with, whoever they are going to use as actually the lead, these people who are industrious, we will just get them back to where they were. They are naive. We just bring them back to where they are, because when they see the amount of the shenanigans or amount of drama that people are creating in the social media, they will say these people are really gullible. They will not even know when this agreement is done. All they will know is that maybe the House of Common, or the House in the Parliament of Britain is now discussing Biafra. Maybe they will be showing you a photo of Simon Ekpa, and you will be seeing it. You say, and you know what the people who are affiliated to him will say? We told you he's fighting for Biafra. We told you he's fighting for Biafra. That's what they will tell you, because they don't understand the politics. They do not understand the politics. The reason why social media cannot allow what we talk to trend is, most of the time you will understand that it is actually unraveling the mathematics that these people, the equation that these people actually worked and put together to use them to put us in an abject poverty until thy kingdom come. And we use the right terminology in order to get this information to you. That's why some of you who don't understand these things, you will never know, and you will never see it coming. It is systemic. It is system. Principalities and power. It is principle. It is system. And you will not understand the system until you go closer to the system. You will not understand the system until you understand the history of the system. That is exactly what you need to know, because when that headline continues to come, you might see Britain might be advising Nigeria, oh, hold Nnamdi Kanu there, hold him. That young man is going to give us what we want. Hold him. That young man in Finland is going to give us what we want. To hold him there. Let's see what we can use with that young man there in Finland to do. That is the politics the way it is. That is the politics the way it is. But not many people will understand it. For the few people who can understand it, it is time for you to actually, rethink and change your behavior, because you undermine people. You might undermine people, but that people you undermine, the more you undermine them, the more they put up a strategy. Because when somebody continue to make a move, follow, go to history, check history and understand this type of things happened in the past. Where did it go to? That's exactly how you investigate these things, to know how this politics is run. But continue to undermine and thinking that it is just ordinary mere criminality. It is not a mere criminality. This is big. This is big criminality. This is selfishness of the highest order. It is not mere criminality. And if he continue unabated, his followers, I'm not telling you not to follow him, because you can take a horse to the stream to go and drink water, but you will not dictate for the horse where, to drink that water. You can only take them there, but you will never force them to drink such water. That's why I am telling you who are his followers. Continue following him, but make sure you understand where is it that you are heading to. Where is it you are heading to? Fight for freedom is not a child's play. You will face many hurdles, and you will, you will receive a lot of offers and interest. But what's the catch? That's the question you will be asking yourself. What is the leverage? I'm going to leave it here. Until we meet again. Bye for now.